Hey, this is your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 6, Peace Interrupted. Okay. If you are new here, welcome. Welcome. We do TV and movie reviews here. That's all we do right now. And if you're a attorney, welcome back. All right. Give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and we will begin. All right. So, the episode is basically the aftermath of Kenya, showing them new pictures in her salon. I do not condone what Kenya did. I understand why she did it, but I'm just mad that she did it at her grand opening of her salon. That wasn't the right place. Okay. What she did was iconic. Okay. In the words of Dr. Emily, what she did was iconic, but I don't think she should have did it her grand opening. But it was the aftermath. All the cast are saying, there's something I've never seen before and everything like that. So, whatever. So, the episode really begins where Brit is talking to Mike. Okay, nonchalant Mike. Okay, he is very nonchalant. Okay, Brit over there crying on the couch, and he like, yeah, that's messed up. He ain't even sitting next to her. He's sitting across the down on the couch. Yeah. That's messed up. But anyway, so she talking to Mike. She said, I haven't slept because everybody DMing me, about these pictures and stuff like that. Mike, man, that's crazy. Man, that's crazy. Okay. No, nothing. She said, and I spent $250 on some flowers, and she tried to publicly humiliate me. Man, wow, that's crazy. Like, come on, Mike. Come on. Act like you like her, okay? Act like you like her, okay? Act like it, okay? Because it don't really seem like you like her. At least act like you like her. So Brit was like, I may lose my license over this. Word on the curb is you don't have no license to lose. That's what they say on the streets, though. I ain't say that, okay? That's what they say on the street, that you ain't have no license to lose, okay? That's what they said on the streets. I ain't say that, okay? So, in the confessional, Brit said that she let her boyfriend film her, when she was in high school or as a teenager. So that means 13 to 19 as a teenager, okay? Because teenager is 13 to 19. So, Porsha on her YouTube channel said that that picture where she was, sucking dick, she was underage. But she could be 18 or 19 in high school. Okay. So I ain't gonna say that she was underage. And she gotta admit that she was underage. She gotta admit how old she was in the picture for me to say that she was underage, because she could have been 18 or 19 in high school. Okay. So yeah, so she said that she was in high school, and she let him film her, get, sucking his dick. And she said in her 20s, she was a webcam girl. Okay. And so, webcam girls, they on the webcam and men come and get, tell them what they want to see, so she could be rubbing herself, whatever, they fingering herself, I don't know, whatever they want to see. So we'll get back to this. But anyway, so then she said I had everything wiped from the internet. Well, not really if Kenya found it. Okay. If Kenya found it, yeah, it wasn't wiped all the way, sweet. It wasn't wiped, okay? It wasn't wiped, okay? Anyway, so Kelli comes by, the good friend Kelli, Pisces Kelli, brings her food and IV fluids. And whoever the IV lady is, listen. Call your girl. Call your girl. I can go to people's homes and start IVs. I did it before. Okay. I did IV infusions. Okay. Call your girl. Call your girl. I'm trying to get out the hospital. Okay. Anyway, so she, like I said, she brings food and IV fluids. And so she said Kelli was like, she is, questioning why Kenya had that at her grand opening, and she basically tearing another woman down. And she was like, and she said, how distasteless could you be? Is it distasteless or distasteful? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend, okay? Is it distasteless or distasteful? Okay. Okay, anyway, so Brit was like, she wanted a rise out of me. And I think maybe that's what it was, she wanted you to see the pictures and you try to fight her or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But what she hasn't done is she hasn't been poking you since you met her, because that's what you said. She's been poking at me since I met her. No, she has not. No, she has not. Okay. No. Okay. She has not been poking at you since you met her. Okay. You have been poking at her since you met her. You've been trying to get a rise out of her. It is not the other way around. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. So Shamia's having the girls over. Okay. So Shamia calls Kelli her Polly Pocket down. I said, why you gonna call her a Polly Pocket? Anyway, so then Porsha arrives and Angela arrives, stunting on these hoes. Okay, stunting on these hoes, honey. She got a black and white striped mini dress, stunting. Her body is banging. Okay. Stunting on these hoes. And she pull out her fan. She pull out the fan, man. And then she said in her confessional, she said, listen. She said, contrary to popular opinion, I am not perimenopausal. I'm just the hottest bitch in the room. Oh, boom. Okay. I am the hottest bitch in the room. Damn. Okay. Yes, I am the hottest bitch in the room. But, Angela, two things can be true at one time, okay? You can be perimenopausal and you can't be the hottest bitch in the room, okay? Okay. Break the glass on them, okay? Okay. Yes, you can be perimenopausal because I know you are perimenopausal because you close to 60. That's what you said. And on your first episode, that's what you said, okay? That ain't what I said, that's what you said. And second of all, you can be the hottest bitch in the room because you are the hottest bitch in the room, okay? Let the church say amen. Okay, moving on. So they sit on the couch, and Porsha said, "I never seen this side of Kenya." She was like, and she basically twirled on down to hell, and that is the God's honest truth. She twirled on down to hell. So Shamia's mom comes and she said, "Y'all don't be too quick to cut each other down. Y'all have to lift each other up, you know." And I see where Shamia gets her understanding and her compassion is from her mama, because her mama, Shamia and her mama sound just alike. To, you know, don't be too quick to tear each other down. So anyway, so when they sitting there on the couch, and Angela was like, "Well, you know, I need to talk to you about what you said at the bank when you brought up Charles." She said, "I took offense to that." And so Porsha was like, "Well, I was actually joking, but maybe that wasn't the best joke because I don't really know you like that and you don't really know me like that." So she was like, "I apologize for that joke." She was like, "Because I just meant it as a joke." You lying, Porsha. You you is lying, okay? Okay? You know a secret about Charles. Everybody know the secret about Charles, okay? Even Angela know the secret about Charles, okay? So you lying. So they go outside, they eat, and they go in the back. And so Drew arrives late again. Boo. 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 Yeah, she arrives late again. They asked, where you coming from, Drew? Court? Okay. So they said that, you know, Drew said that they live in the same house, you know, because Ralph live in the basement. And she said sometimes it feels like family sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. And Portia's face looking like, you know, me and Simon's divorce, it don't feel like family. It don't feel like family, okay? So Angela asked Porsha, you know, are you getting the support you need? And so then she was just like, and Porsha was like, yeah, I want a divorce. She said, but I still want to be, she said, I still want to be friends and stuff because we got family. What family? What family, Porsha? That was your child. Y'all ain't got no kids together. I don't understand. I don't even know why you want to be friends with him. He scammed you. He scammed you. I wouldn't want to be friends with him. He scammed you. Ugh. And so Angela was like, well, do you really want to work out with him? And she was like, no, because he disrespected her mom. And because apparently he said that her mom and her mom boyfriend broke into the house, you know. So that's how she disrespected her mom. Whatever. The house was broken into, and it was probably you and your mama and your mama boyfriend. Okay. You know, it is what it is. It's your house anyway. I don't even know what you mad about. It's your house too. Didn't you have 50-50? Girl, shut the fuck up. Anyway, and then she said, and she don't want to make up with him because he discarded her child and disrespected her mom. And so she texts Simon, because Pilar was asking about Simon, and she said he at work, and so she texted Simon and said Pilar was asking about you, and he left her on red. That shows you that he don't care about you, and if he don't care about you, then you need to care about yourself and get the fuck on. Okay. You need to take. I don't even know how much money he got. I'm about to say take him for all he's worth, but I don't think he's worth anything. Okay, so whatever. And so then in the confessional, she said, "What attracted me to Simon was feeling safe. He scammed you." And so then she said he presented the life that I was looking for. That was Shamia's life. That was the life you was looking for. Shamia's life. Okay. That's exactly what the life you was looking for. Shamia's life. And you ain't get it from Simon. Okay. You ain't get it from Simon. And that's okay. Move on, sister girl. Move on. You know, then I thought to myself, maybe you should have shitted in his bathroom like Shamia did with Gerald. And y'all could have been together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have been together. If you shitted in his bathroom. If you shitted in his bathroom, maybe y'all could have been together. But he a scammer anyway, so he didn't have nothing. Everybody said them houses that he had in Costa Rica and something, they were rental houses. That he was renting these planes and all that other stuff. He was a scammer, and that was it. Okay, so stop it. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstrap and find you another African. Anyway, Kelli wants to host a peace brunch. She asked Drew and Porsha, did they make up? Porsha said, we can coexist. It's not a thing. So Angela was like, hey, shots to go. If it's not a thing, then shots to go. So Shamia pulled out some Michael Jordan wine. I ain't never heard of it nor seen it. But then Drew said, Michael Jordan is my cousin. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Drew, you know you're a liar. We ain't even got time for that. Anyway, Kelli and Chloe are doing yoga and meditation. Okay, and this is a cute scene. I like this. And so they pull up an article about Kelli and Mark's divorce. And so Chloe was like, why they put this ugly picture of you on there? I said, Chloe. And so Chloe said that, you know, he wants custody, but he don't want custody of her because he is not her biological father, but the three other girls are. And so Kelli was like, you know, I really never wanted none of this for you. And so but Mark has been in Chloe's life since she's been two and a half, so he's technically her father, but he don't want custody of her. But you know, she a teenager. She's 17. She don't need no custody no more. Hell, she about to graduate high school. Chloe doesn't want to get married because she may end up like her mama, and her mama's upset about that. Because, you know, she want her not to, she want her to get married and have a family and stuff like that. But these kids nowadays ain't like the kids that we had before. These kids don't want to get married. They don't want to have a kid. They don't want they want more for their life than having a kid and getting married. So I wouldn't push her to get married unless she want to get married. I would push her to live her life, because we don't know what this world gonna come to anyway. Okay, so I wouldn't even push her to marry nobody. I would push her just to live her life. If that's what you want to do, baby, go ahead. So, but Kelli was like, well, maybe we should, go through therapy. She said meditate and all. She said not therapy, meditate and, and things like that, to clear our mind. And so Chloe was like, no, I'll go back to therapy. She's like, because I don't do this meditation. Chloe was like, I ain't trying to do this meditation. I ain't mad at her. So Drew packing for the weekend. And she trying to pack. She trying to get her daughter's hair done, everything like that. So then they go downstairs to eat. Now, it looks like they ordered breakfast takeout because they got paper plates and then it was like to go containers and stuff like that. And what I need to know is, Drew, you can't make French toast and some bacon. Because that's what it looked like. It was just French toast and bacon. You can't make French toast and bacon? You can't make French toast and bacon. Anyway. So then Ralph come up, scared shit out of everybody, because he usually is all in the basement and don't come up, even on, until Drew leave. But no, he come up so he can get on camera. That's all he did. He just came up because he know they filming, and he just got on camera. That's it. That's all. And so, they talk about the exterminator, and then him and his Beijing and his confessional, no shirt confessional, Beijing confessional, saying, well, I pay all the bills. I don't know why she just can't pay this little $100 exterminator bill, because that's what they were talking about, the exterminator bill. And I was just like, sir, you supposed to pay all the goddamn bills. Thank you, sir. You supposed to pay the goddamn bills. So Drew was like, well, listen, you're supposed to take care of the exterminator too. And so she was like, because I got a lot on my plate. And then Ralph was like, what you got on your plate? And she was like, okay, I'm done. She walked away. She was like, I'm out. So her and Heavy D, aka Allison, drive off because it's her weekend. So it's his weekend. Anyway, so Shamia's in the studio with RL. RL, you got some Beijing in your hair too, boo. Anyway, so Angela comes in. Angela, I don't know why she did this, but Angela apologizes for Porsha not knowing her song when they were at her event. I don't understand that. I don't understand why. Huh? I don't know. I don't know why she apologized to Shamia about Porsha not knowing her event or her song. Whatever. So Shamia said, yeah, that hurt my feelings. She said, I need her to be my biggest cheerleader like I am to her. And so Angela was like, well, I hope the loyalty you have for Porsha is being reciprocated. It ain't. We all know. It ain't. It ain't being reciprocated. Nope, it ain't. So then Drew come in, and Drew said, did she meet RL and stuff like that, and Shamil was like, yeah, these my producer, and we gonna make magic happen, and Drew was like, that's how I feel about Dennis. We make magic happen. She's like, and it could pay for all the royalties and stuff like that he gonna make on my album. It could pay for Polaris college. And so Shamia, well, Polaris College is already paid for. Who paying for it? You? Porsha ain't got no money. That's why she got to do this go naked hair. This she trying to get some more stuff in her home goods line and stuff like that. She trying to expand and stuff like that. Who paying for her college? You? Cause she ain't. Maybe Dennis. Okay, maybe Dennis. But Porsha ain't paying for Polaris College. If she even go to college, okay? Anyway, so Brit mom comes over. And so Brit had to tell her about this fellatio pic and all that other stuff that she said when she was back in high school. That's between 13 and 19 because she said she was a teenager. Okay. But what I need to know is, where was she at? Where was mama at when all of this stuff is going down in high school? Where is your mama at? You said you was a I'm about to say video hoe. No, you was a video vixen in high school. Where was your mama at? Where was your mama at? You doing fellatio in high school. Where is your mama at? Where is your sisters at? Okay. They didn't see the road you was going down to. What is going on? I don't understand what happened to you. You saying all these girls hating on you because you pretty and stuff like that, and then they talking mad shit about you. You know, well, a lot of this stuff was true because this is what you was doing. This is what you was presenting. You had low self-esteem, sister girl. You was the prettiest one in the room and the lowest self-esteem one in the room. If you are doing all of this in high school, okay, in high school, yeah, you was pretty, but you had low self-esteem. Okay, but you mad at everybody who mad at that everybody talking about you. Well, you know, they saying you a hoe. Well, you was a hoe. I'm saying, you know, you was a hoe. Okay, in high school, what's the problem? Where was mama? Mama, where was you at? Okay, I need to talk to mama and the sisters. Where was all of y'all at? Because I think she the baby. I don't know. She just went down the wrong road. In the words of Porsha, wrong road. Because that's what she went down. I don't understand. So anyway, but she starts to cry.
Stop fucking crying, bitch! I don't want to
Okay. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Anyway, she started to cry about dealing with her life. And so mom said that girls are like that. You know, they just like to hate. If they not happy with their lives, you know, that's what they do. Anyway, I'm not even gonna say nothing else. And so Brit was like, people talking shit and making up things. Well, some of this shit is true. Some of the stuff may be made up, but some of it is true. You gotta own that. And so then she said, can you call her that she had insurance fraud? And the streets are saying you had insurance fraud. She was a video hoe, and the streets are saying that you were a video hoe, and she was an escort. I don't know about that start the streets, but I'm quite sure that's what they're saying, you know. But Brit was like, I'm gonna keep it classy. Oh, really? Okay, we'll leave that alone. So Shamia meet up with Porsha, not in the strip club, okay, where the tap is. That tap, that diddy and tap, that tap. Yeah, she ain't meet her in a strip club this time. She met her in some gaming facility. Cause Shamia keep it classy, okay? Shamia is keeping it classy, okay? So Porsha was like, in your 40s, you wake up with all kinds of issues. Let the church say amen. Yes. You wake up with all kinds of pain in your 40s and in your 50s, okay? She was like, my hip is hurting. I said, I understand, child. I understand. But Shamia's like, at least we don't have Angela problems. You will be soon, baby. You will be soon. It's coming sooner than you think, baby. It's coming sooner than you think. She said, hot flashes, I don't want that. And then Porsha was like, yeah, she indoors with a fan. Girl, it's coming. It's coming sooner than you think. Perimenopause starts in your 40s, honey, and it lasts until your period stop. Okay, then that's menopause. Okay, then that's menopause. But perimenopause starts in your 40s, and then your period stops. So, honey, it comes sooner than you think, boo. Sooner than you think. So, Porsha. Kelli called Angela Miss Netta because she talking about, because Miss Netta always talking about Charles. So Kelli called Angela Miss Netta. Anyway, Shamia asked Porsha about Dennis and Drew. Porsha was like, Drew wanted to film, but that didn't happen. That beautiful bean footage showed that Drew and Dennis filmed together. She said because it was basically 8 days later after you gave him the ultimatum. If you caught on camera with Drew, it's gonna be a problem. And 8 days later, he caught on camera with Drew. So it is what it is. Okay. So, Shamia lost the game, even though she was talking shit about the whole game. And so she was talking about IVF. She was like, she had one embryo, but it's a 30% chance of implantation. And so, then she asked, what's going on with you and Simon's embryo? Oh, I don't think Porsha wanted her to bring up her and Simon's embryo, but she did. Okay. Oh, so Porsha seemed a little annoyed, but she was just like, listen, we got to get through all of this before we can even talk about that. And so Shamir was like, he ain't send you a cease and desist. Porsha didn't want to talk about that little embryo. I don't know what that embryo is gonna look like, but leave that alone. Porsha said, "Listen, Simon wants to be a star, and he wants to be an influencer." So she said, her influencer husband. No, your scammer husband. Okay. Your scammer husband who is detained by ICE right now. I don't know if he ever got out. I don't know. Anyway, we go to Kelly's peace brunch. Kelli tells Porsha. Porsha tells her that she's not coming because she's sick, and so Kelli was like, "I'm here for you. Take everything. Just don't take anybody else's man." Just don't take anybody else's man. Good one, Kelli. Good one. And she was like, you throwing shade today. Anyway, Shamia and Angela arrive. Kelli lets the girls know that her husband owes her at least $10,000 in child support. He only made one payment. And so then Angela was like, I'm sorry. She said, and I'm also sorry that I brought a +1. And she said, what? She was like, Polly and Esther, this dress is hot. I know that's right. This dress is hot. So then, so everybody laughed. So Drew came in on time. On time for once, okay? And then Brit shows up at the end. And so Shamia asked Brit, how you been doing? And she was just like, it's been okay. It's been rough. But, I think the hardest... No, hold on. We got to get this. It's been okay. It's been rough. The hardest part is behind us. And Kelli was like, this brunch is for you. And the other ladies, Angela and Drew, had already talked to Kenya about her feelings. You talked to Kenya about her feelings? And Drew said, we did. Okay. And did. Okay. And so she in the confessional was like, see, why they talking about asking about Kenya's feelings? She did this to me. See, that's why I don't, I have a wall up between these ladies. Whatever. And so Brit was like, I'm dealing with my husband. I'm dealing with my husband and my business license. And so Shamia was like, yeah, she said she lost her license. And then Angela was like, based on what? She was like, what do you mean based on what? Are you confused? What's been going on? Yeah. She said, based on what? And so she had a little attitude, and Angela was like, wait a minute, where's all this energy coming from? She said, I am licensed as well. She said, it has to be a cause for you to lose your license. And she said, and you failed to take responsibility for what you did. And then, no, she said, you failed to take responsibility for how we even got here. That part. Okay. that part. You failed to take responsibility for how we even got here. So Brit was like, read the room. Read the motherfucking room. I'm gonna stop. Read the room. Read the motherfucking room. And everybody was like, whoa, what the hell? And so Angela was like, I'm reading the room. And then Brit was like, you slow? And she was like, no, I'm not slow. She was like, but you throw rocks and hide your hands. There it is. So Kelli was like, hold on, come on, let's swap seats. So Shamia asked the question. So what's going on with your license, Brit? So then she said, I'm under investigation. I didn't lose my license yet. It's been investigated. And then Angela was like, I thought so. And so she was like, what'd you say? She said it with her chest. I thought so. Say it with your chest, Angela. Say it with your chest. And so then she was like, why don't you twirl out? And everybody was like, twirl out? You are a fan of Kenya's. Okay, you are a fan. You want to be Kenya. You really wanted to be Kenya. Because Drew was like, twirl out. She said, Kenya is definitely here. So then the church bell rings, and then Shamia was like, well, we should all focus on the good in each other. Can we agree that we're going to focus on the good in each other? Everybody agree. And so everybody dance, and they do electric slide. And that's the end of the show. So anyway, give me a thumbs up. Like and share and subscribe to my channel. And we will see you in the next video. Peace.